Hi, I'm Mary Ann, and I want to show you exactly how to use our tomato ring. The tomato ring is the simplest support you're ever going to use. I love simple and easy, and you're going to love it too, especially when you know how to use it. When you buy the tomato ring, they're going to come in a package, a plastic bag like this, with the instruction sheet inside, so if you have questions, you can always refer to that. But after you watch this video, I don't even think you're going to need the instruction sheet. I've already installed our support, our stake for our tomato ring. We like to use these 3/4 inch conduit. They're galvanized, they don't rust, and they're going to last forever. But you can use wooden stakes if you like. You can use pretty much any kind of stake you want. The beauty of the tomato ring is the clamp accommodates a wide variety of types of stakes on which to put them. So whatever you have and you want to use in your garden, that's probably going to work just fine. So right now I have my tomato. This, by the way, was a volunteer tomato plant. It was growing somewhere where it wasn't going to be happy, or at least I wasn't going to be happy with where it was. I dug it out. In this case, instead of putting it right into the garden, as I showed in another clip, supported and shaded by a plastic bucket, instead I put it in a pot and I let it get strong and get a little bit of root system going. I put it in a dark place for a few days. I watered it, and now this baby is ready to go. I think he's going to be a big tomato because of the size of his stem. I don't know what he is since he came up by himself, but that's going to be fun just to watch him. But I know he's going to be well supported by these tomato rings. So let's go. Let me show you how to do this. I'm just simply going to knock him out of the pot and put him into the hole that I've already dug. Now, I put compost in my hole. If you don't have compost, you could buy garden soil, or you can make your own compost like we do. I wouldn't recommend using a product that already has fertilizer in it, because very often that fertilizer is a little too high in nitrogen and you'll get some beautiful leaves, not that many tomatoes. So you want to use something that does not have a high nitrogen content. And later on I'm going to come back and I'm going to fertilize this with a tomato-specific food. That's going to give me a lot of tomatoes in just a few weeks. So here we go. I'm going to knock him on out. Now, he doesn't have a huge root system, but that's okay. I've dug him really deep. Tomatoes like to be planted pretty darn deep, is the way I like to say it. I have good loose soil. Whoops. That's going to be the tomato ring I'm going to use. I'm really going to build this up. With a tomato plant, you can really plant them almost up to their necks. They like it. They're not like a tree that doesn't want to be overplanted. They like to be in there pretty deep. I've got them pretty deep. Of course, I'm going to immediately give him a good watering. Never want to put a plant in dry, so you want to water before, water after. Hydration all the way. Now it's time to put on my tomato rings. As you can see, I went ahead and installed the first two before we started. They're very easy to put on. I like to do that because they're there when I need them. As my plant grows, all I have to do is move them up or down. We have kind of a rule of thumb for you. We like to say to put them at 1 foot, 3 feet, and then go ahead and put one at 6 feet. This is a 10-foot conduit that we buy. We have it chopped in 2 pieces, a 3-foot and a 7-foot. The 7-foot goes into the ground about 1 foot, maybe a little bit less, good and sturdy. And then the 3-foot we use for our eggplants, for peppers, all kinds of lower growing things. It's still like a tomato ring. Oh, can't wait to show you that. So I've already installed these. Now before I put this one on, I want to show you a little something about the tomato ring that's important for you to know. It has 2 sides. On this side, which is the correct side, it's embossed in here on this beautiful, rich-looking black homopolypropylene, which is what these are made out of. It says this side up. But if you don't see that, or if you forget to look for that, the difference is on this side, you don't see much of the ends of the ring. This is the side you want up, the side where you can see the little pointed ends. That's its strength. So we're going to put that side up. I've unscrewed the screw a little bit, make room in that clamp. I'm just going to slide that on. Here it is. It goes right on the top. I put it up there at the top. Now later on, I can move this if I need to. That's the beauty of a tomato ring. You can adjust them as you go. They're very, very simple to adjust. That screw just screws in and screws out. I want to get kind of a good hard clamp on that, but I don't want to force it. Just hard enough. That'll be plenty. Even on this conduit, that's going to hold. So now I've got my plant. Eventually, as this plant grows, I can wiggle that last ring up. I can move this one up or down, and anytime I need to adjust, here's all there is to it. I'm simply going to unscrew the clamp just a little bit, just enough to move it, and I'll put it up here if that's what my plant needs. You decide. You watch your plant. You'll see what it needs. And there you go. It just could not be simpler. I've got that in. Now I'm going to move on to some other things I need to do in the other garden. And remember, we always say, tuck it up. Not only the leaves of your tomato plant, and I'll show you that down in the vegetable garden, but even this, you can kind of move it up a little bit when you need to, if you need to tuck the plant in. Let's go down there and I'll show you how to do that.